9 from your book, Headway Plus Beginners. And in this unit is just talk about the past tense. يعني هذا الunit أو الفصل هو راح يتخصص how to say something that happened in the past. Okay, and of course when we talk about the past tense we already have to focus on regular verbs and irregular. Okay, يعني الأفعال اللي هي تكون regular الاعتيادية and irregular الأفعال الاعتيادية, which is the most common, the Arabic native speaker that made a mistake, and also the other speakers from other languages. So we have to focus on irregular verbs, الأفعال الأفعال المتعدية يعني الغير اعتيادية. So here we're gonna focus on the past tense, and since we talk about the past tense, so that means what? Something is already happened and done and no more happen. Okay, يعني ما معناه الماضي هو شيء انتهى, صار, حدث وانتهى. Okay, so for example, here, in a book in page 56, and you're gonna find it in a grammar spot, but I would like to share with you, this is the PowerPoint, okay, to know how to talk about the past usually. Okay, so as you see here, the past, okay, or the action or the event, يعني الأحداث أو الفعل اللي يصير بالماضي, it is already done in the past. This is like the time chart. هذا احنا عندنا خط الزمان بصورة عامة. The past tense is something is happened in the past and no more happen. يعني هذا صار بالماضي وانتهى. And it is not happen in the present day, like now, or in the future. This is exactly, okay? So let's see how to use the past tense. So as I said that we have to talk about the past tense, okay, and how to use it directly. So for example, we have the most important that to focus on the verb be, اللي هو الفعل البي, الفعل المساعد be, how to use it in the past, regular verbs and irregular verbs. For the and also we need to know how to use it for positive and negative, and also in a question. So let's see. If you have the verb be, okay, for example, we have in a positive sentence, يعني الجمل المثبتة عادة إيش نستخدم in the past tense. For example, I was, you were, he or she or it or any singular, Tom, student, teacher, instructor, the subject. Okay, if we have nominal sentence إذا كانت عندنا جملة اسمية that doesn't have action verb, so it doesn't have a main verb, like for example action verb اللي هو ما عنده فعل يكون action verb. No, it is a nominal sentence. يعني the be verb is the auxiliary verb, is just connected between the noun and the noun and adjectives, noun or preposition. يعني عادة هو يربط فقط ما بين اسم أو اسم أو اسم أو صفة أو اسم أو حرف جر. Okay, we have we were and they were, and this is you already know, guys, because this is more essential things. For example, let's practice. Last weekend so of course I'm gonna say I was. She, of course, was. I was. My cousins here is a plural, so were. We is a plural, were, and it singular is was. Okay, so here this is a nominal sentence. ليش نسميها nominal sentence جملة اسمية? Because there is no main verb. يعني ماكو فعل أساسي عندنا action verb like study, work, whatever. We don't have it. So we need only nominal sentence to connect between these two parts of the sentence. Okay? Like here, as I said, this is the answers. For negative, how I negate that? Okay, شلون راح نفيها? It's just putting not. And in spoken we say wasn't, you weren't, he or she it wasn't. Okay, we weren't and they weren't. This is for negation. For example, last week if I say I was not, so what I say I wasn't. This is in spoken. In written we cannot make it as a short and we say I was not. Okay. and this is exactly what I say. This is we can use it in formal setting. يعني احنا عادة informal نستخدم خلينا نقول like how to use it, like okay, for example is just like added the not but shorten, okay, بطريقة مختصرة. بس contractions الاختصارات تكون بالكتابة الرسمية you have to avoid it، ما تستخدموها. And for questions, of course, like where you usually in question we just proceeded auxiliary verb نقدم الفعل المساعد and then we ask about it. Okay. So here if we try to talk about regular verb اللي هي الأفعال الاعتيادية, what we have to do about it. For regular verbs is just like added ed. احنا نضيفها ed. هاي قاعدة أساسية متعارف عليها. نضيف ed للفعل. Okay? To make it to like in the symbol, in the past symbol. Some verbs we have to change to, like for example to drop y and then we added ed. Okay, ied. So let's take like, and some verbs is just like change in like pronunciation, نغير بالتلفظ مالتها. Is based on the voiceless or voiced. يعني أحيانا إحنا بس نضيف هو الفعل إيدي لكن الصوت how to pronounce it is changed. إيش وقت على شنو تتغير؟ تتغير على أساس إذا كان voiceless. اوكي اذا كان حرف صحيح يكون غير لا يلفظ او voiced اللي هو حرف ممكن ان يلفظ. اوكي خلي نشوف الامثله حتى we know how to use it. Like here start, want, end انتهت بيش بالتي or دي. الverb انتهى بالتي or دي. فشو راح يكون البرونسيشن مالته؟ As I said, if we have regular verbs, إذا كان عندنا فعل okay اعتيادي I wanna like to add it ed أريد أضيف له ed بس الفعل already ends with like a d or t. Okay, so what we have is like to add it ed, so the pronunciation is gonna be started, wanted, ended. So the pronunciation is like added I'd, okay, like studied, I and D. Okay, so the pronunciation is id. Okay, well if we have some verbs that is just like end, okay, like we have cook is end with k, okay, or finish with sh or s. This is called like voiceless sounds. فبهذه الحالة شو راح يكون pronunciation مالتها مثل ما قلنا like in regular verbs is end with voiceless sounds. يعني الsound يكون voiceless. Okay, فهنا راح تكون sounds is like what, like t. راح يكون اللفظ مالت الإيدي like t. Like for example cooked, cooked is end with k. K is voiceless, so what I do, cooked, cooked. So it's like the sound is like t, while finish, finished is like t, while miss is missed. Well, we have like a voiced sounds like play, open, call. So the sound is look like d, not it. It, if we have like the verbs end with t and d. So when we added ed, it's gonna ed. Like for example, ended. But if we have the verbs, it already is end with voice consonant or vowel. إذا انتهى voice consonant, okay. إذا يكون حرف صحيح يلفظ, okay, أو vowel. فش راح يكون sounds بعد ما نضيف له ed is like d, only d. Like play, played, open, opened, call, called. Okay, so the sound is d. Okay, this is exactly what we say, how like it's really important that you know the pronunciation. There's a video here, but honestly we already explained about it. For example, now let's just like come back to the like some of the rules. This is the pronunciation. احنا حكينا على pronunciation. بعض الأفعال إذا انتهت بكلمة د حرف د أو ت نضيف له ed يصير ed. If we have like the verb voiceless sounds like sh, like we have k, we have like for example these verbs. It's just like what we added, basically added ed, but the sound is like t, like finished, cooked. But if we have some verbs is already end with a voice sound اللي هي الحرف صحيح ممكن اللفظ مالته قوي voice sounds، فهنا راح يكون already ايش راح يكون عندنا؟ راح يكون عندنا the sound is like t. Well, if we have like some spelling rules اللي هي بعض من الكتابة، القواعد الكتابة، مثلا if we have already verbs is end with what? With e, like, save, smile is already with e. So when we added the ed, I just added the, okay? Like, liked, just added the, as you see here. Okay? Liked, saved, smiled. Only the d we added because it's really hard to pronounce to add another e. Well, if we have already some of the verbs, okay, that is end with y, تهت y, and is preceded by consonant sounds. يعني الفعل هو انتهى بالواي وقبل الواي يكون حرف صحيح. So in this case, what I have to do? I have to change the y to I and added ed, like carried, tried, hurried. Okay, but if some other like verbs that is already with what? With end with vowel, consonant sounds, and is preceded by vowel and is preceded by consonant. يعني ما معناه consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. So what we have to do? Basically, we have to here to double the consonant, the last consonant sound, and then we added the ed, like stop it. Okay, stop it. إذا انتهت مثل ما رجعنا, just repeat it for many times. If it is already like end with consonant كان قبل vowel والvowel قبل consonant فيكون we have to double the consonant, the last consonant لازم أضاعف الحرف الصحيح الأخير, and then we added ed. That's it. Okay, so this is basically the main rules that we have to follow, especially when we use, like when we talk about the bus. Like last weekend I cooked dinner for my family, so the sound is like t. Okay, while here yesterday my friends I studied. Okay, this is y is preceded by consonants, so I changed the y to the I and then added ed. Okay, finish is end with voiceless sound, so it's gonna be finished. Okay, finished. Okay, finished. So the sound is t. Start, the verbs already with t, to have t. So when added ed is look like it. So started. Okay, started. And the most important things that when we talk about the past is just like talk about irregular verbs. Irregular verbs هي الأفعال الاعتيادية that basically we cannot, is just like basically we don't need like to know the rules, but we have to memorize. لازم احنا نستخدم على اعتماد على الذاكرة because there's no standard rules. يعني ماكو فد قاعدة أساسية تبعد. I have to memorize. Okay, so what I have to do here? Like some of these verbs, for example, go is gonna be went. Do is gonna be did. See is gonna be so. Write, wrote. Drive, drove. So there's no rules. We have to memorize them. We have like, this is the most common. Like come, came. Swim, swam. Okay? So these verbs like get, got. So these verbs we cannot memorize, like we cannot follow a standard. We have to memorize them. Okay? And of course, like you can find a list, like if you go to the Google, if you don't remember that we already take it like in high school or others. So you can find lists actually from the regular verbs. Like here, my father gave me a gift. He bought, buy is gonna be bought, okay? Like for example, it coast, okay? Start, started. Tell is gonna be told. Say, gonna be said. Want is gonna be wanted. Okay? And for negative sentence, what we have to do? Usually if we have irregular verbs, we have regular verbs, or what we have to do in negation. Basically, we just use the auxiliary verb didn't, okay, before the verb, and we put the verb in a space verb. يعني ما معناه بالماضي أنا مجرد أستخدم ال auxiliary verb did استحدث من عندي, okay, and then I change the verb in its space verb وأرجع الفعل إلى المصدر مالته. Okay, so here for example, in 2009 I didn't know you. So knew, if I try to negate, I say I didn't know you. Okay, so I use this is for negation. Brain, it didn't rain. Eat, didn't eat. So basically we use the same rules. Live, didn't live. Okay, so it is the same rule. Didn't take. Take usually is took. When I make it like a negation, I say didn't take. Okay, so basically this is the rules that we use with the past tense. And خلينا negation, we use only the past tense. Like we use basically it's just like we use the ed to the regular verbs, okay. And for negation, what we have to use, if it is like regular or irregular, I added didn't, negation. In the question, I just added did. Okay, for example, where did you go, or where did you live, or what did you study? Okay, or a negation is just like use not with did. If I have a nominal sentence, I use the be verb اللي was or were, okay, and plus the other sentence. In negation, wasn't or weren't. Okay, this is the most common that you have to know about negation. As you see here on page 65, when were you born? Okay, طبعا الborn دائما نستخدمها تكون هذه الصيغة مالتها in the past tense, وتكون هذه الصيغة مالتها. This is like is something we don't have like a rule to follow, but we have to memorize. Like when were you born? So I was born. فهنا الborn ما تتغير الصيغة مالتها. Okay, when was she born? She was born, whatever. فهذه الصيغة المعتادة when was born exactly. Or I was born, she was born. So this is, we cannot change it honestly. And this is, as I said, the pronunciation تكون wasn't, weren't, لكن this is how we say it in spoken language. يعني شلون نقولها احنا بالكلام but we cannot change it. okay, we cannot write it like contraction. ما نقدر نكتبها كاختصار باللغة بالكتابة نكتب was not. This is basically, this is some verbs here, irregular verbs اللي حكينا عليها. مثلا go تصير went. okay, come came, have had be was or were. عندنا make. okay, make made, see saw, buy bought, as you see here, say said, and find found. And of course you're gonna find it on the page 68. okay, so the most important that where we have to use, basically we have to use the past tense when something, an action or events is happen in the past and no more happen anytime. وممكن أن إعادة استخدامه أو ممكن أن يحدث في الوقت الحاضر أو في المستقبل. okay, here also in the book, like they use some of vocabulary like have or do or go. have sometimes is either have two meaning. يعني عادة الهاف يكون لها معنوين. المعنى الأول have is mean like for have possession. شنو possession is like ملكية. like for example, I have a car, I have a new bag. okay, I have a new for example, I have a job. okay, هذه possession يعني تملك. It's the same when I say I own something. okay, or sometimes it give us the meaning is like when eating a meal. يعني عادة نستخدمها معناها باللغة العربية literal translation اللي معناها يتناول. so how I differentiate, I use have with the word meal. استخدم الهاف إذا جت ما معناه يتناول تكون with the word meal اللي هي lunch, dinner, whatever. for example, they have lunch at 1. فهنا have lunch ما معناه يتناول الغداء. so it should combine with the word meal. لازم من استخدم الهاف معناه يتناول لازم يكون المعنى تكون وياها كلمة lunch, dinner اللي هي meal وجبة معناه or breakfast. okay, do it is like okay, we use it for example as here use it with the work. okay, with exercise. okay, so it's something special we use it when we do like efforts. شنو efforts اللي هي من شو نسوي مثلا جهد من نبذل عادة جهد معين. okay, فنقول okay for example I do my homework or I already do maybe my hand because I write and also my mind because I think about how to solve math problems, had to do this exercise or do homework. okay, do exercise اللي هي exercise هي يتمرن. so do is all the time is come with the verbs that we do like an effort جهد نبذل بها جهد. go is of course go is like the meaning of like go to another place, to move to another place. okay, so you have to be very careful. like here have a lunch, have a car, have for example a breakfast as all the times come with the meal لازم تكون ويا وجبة. do my homework for example like do some exercise. okay, so it's a kind of doing an effort جهد. okay, well go is just like to move to another place or we talk about activities بدنا نتحدث على النشاطات. like go shopping يعتبر أيضا نشاط اللي هي go shopping. okay, or go hiking, go swimming, go horse riding. فإحنا نستخدم الجو as well ودائما تكون الصيغة مالتها all the time. we debate when we talk about a physical or even like for activities لازم تكون الجو with verb ing and is not treated as a verb. ما راح يتعامل كverb إنما يتعامل كnoun gerund اللي على سبيل المثال go horse riding. ride اللي هو يمتطي. okay, so go ride horse riding, so this is activity. go swimming, swim يسبح. so go swimming because this is activity, either it is a sport activity or any like maybe activities that we do in our daily life. okay, Yeah, so this is you have to focus on, and you're gonna find it on page 70. Okay, this is some of the verbs and vocabulary. Let's stop here today on unit 9. Okay, and if you have any question, just you can ask me on Google Classroom. Thank you so much.